Hey guys, so I'm just going to do a quick little intro right here because when I was editing our first question and answer video, I realized how many questions we had and how long we ended up giving answers, and it made for a really long video. So I decided to go ahead and snip it into two separate videos. That way it wouldn't be too overwhelming. So anyways, this is our second part of the question and answers, and thank you so much for watching and for giving us questions. Do the dogs get along with each other?
Not always.
Not always. I think that people have this like Facebook meme in their mind of like all these German Shepherds rolling through the hills together and playing together, and I'm not gonna lie, for the most part they do tend to get better with each other. They don't always start off that way.
There's a way that you need to introduce, and there's behavior.
You can't expect it. You can't expect them to get along and all be friends. You have to go into it with the idea of letting them meet, letting them getting to know each other, slowly working up to a longer playtime. Like, you can't go into it with this expectation.
And the thing is, people assume that a German Shepherd has this fuzzy, warm personality like a golden retriever, but they don't. German Shepherds tend to be a one person or one family dog, and they are a bit suspicious of strangers, and you should be prepared that your German Shepherd's going to pick, one family member or whatever. And the thing is a lot of people don't realize that German Shepherds play rough. I mean, they really look like they are killing each other.
We like to call it the Lion King. Like, they legit go up and like lions and roar and like really fight that way, but that's them playing. And what's funny though is I have little collies that are like 30-pound dogs, and they do the same thing, but it's not scary or intimidating.
Even
when my
the
little
puppies,
30 pounds, and the
even
puppies
the puppies did that same thing. That we call it the Mufasa. And the thing is German Shepherds are intense animals. They don't.
Big.
They don't have soft muzzles. They are considered land sharks
they're
because they're
very
nippy and
But I think that a lot that people will see even German Shepherds playing with each other and think that they're fighting, and that's not even the case, because yesterday So yesterday Matisse and Scooby were playing, and it sounds so ferocious when they're barking and yelling at each other, but they're playing, and so to someone else that might be something that they would run over and break up, but we don't do that because they are playing.
And the thing is
that's why it's good that we only adopt German Shepherds, because we know the breed and we know that about them.
And I'm not scared of that. My husband.
And also, they're a herd animal. We need to add that to the fact that it's really good to only adopt German Shepherds because they do have a herd mentality and kind of like welcome them into the group a little bit better too.
And the thing is even in play, Shepherds will go for the throat. And a lot of inexperienced German Shepherd owners think that is killing, or they're afraid of that, but that's a normal in our house. I mean, that's just what. But one thing that is important is you need to supervise their play, and you just kind of know when it goes too far. Okay, you let them get rough. You let them try to kill each other. Basically, and
we know that moment when we have to step in, and it's really hard to describe what that moment is, but we can always just tell when it's crossed like a little line. And usually you just have to use your deep alpha voice and hey, and then they end up
they'll break it
up, and then they keep going. You don't actually have to run over there and do anything. Like, even my daughter's getting to the point where she knows when to say hey to them, and it's really kind of funny, but she's grown up with them now. So the next one's just an easy one. What do y'all feed the dogs?
Anything we can get.
Thank you, Tractor Supply. This is not sponsored, but we love you.
Yes. Tractor Supply takes care of us, and I'm hoping that we can do a really nice video to say thanks.
Thank you to them, because we would not be anywhere without Tractor Supply. They have the best managers that have helped us through all of this.
Brian Thomas and Sue, Leslie Roberts. Sue's actually in Winnie now, and Brian is in the Port
But
Arthur
that just goes to show, because even when we were first getting out, and the manager at the Beaumont one was super nice to us too, and like we just didn't happen to keep going back to that one, so we didn't get to make as good of a connection. But all of the ones we've gone to have been so welcoming and helping.
Occasionally, they will call us up and tell us that they have a donation for us, and
at the randomest moments, and it's always just like when we need it.
And we're sitting here freaking out because okay, we're like down to, it's like right now we're getting low of canned goods, and
we just never stress about it.
No, because it's gonna happen.
It always happens. But yeah, definitely.
But when
we don't get picky, yeah. So anyways, we do have this big bucket, like these big, what is it, horse feed barrels?
Yeah,
whatever
like
that Tractor Supply gave us. Anyway, so she mixes it in
a swimming pool, a little plastic swimming pool. So we might have, like right now, we have all the same brand of food.
Yeah.
But if we have,
random people or like just random followers that donate little bags to us at a time sometimes, because when Tractor Supply donates to us, they'll donate like the same brand in big stocks of it for a little bit.
Or at least 2 or 3 bags of this and a couple bags of that.
But when we do have like the random supplies of just one bag here and there, then it is really important that you mix it and integrate it into their food. That way it's not harsh on their stomachs.
Yeah, you don't want to start feeding them one food and then automatically start feeding them another.
So when we get low on the barrel, then we take it and put it into the swimming pool and add the new bag, mix it together, and then start feeding them that. So it's constantly probably changing, but
it changes, but at least it's still staying consistent. And the first thing that we do though is we look at the expiration dates, and I take a magic marker and I write the expiration dates and have it to where I can see that date just sticking out of the shelf. And so we take
which ones we need to use first,
and we'll take like maybe 3 or 4 big bags depending on how many dogs we have at the time. We'll mix it up, and like she says, before we actually run out of that batch, we'll take a portion of that batch and start mixing it into the new bags of food. So because German Shepherds have sensitive stomachs, and so it's really important that you don't just, you need to transition them slowly if you change food.
And that's with really any dog. It's not good for any dog to have this abrupt change of diet. I watch my friend's dog a lot or whatever, and she always makes sure to pack his food, because the days that she forgets and I have to give them my food, and then he goes home with like the worst bellyache, and she's having to clean up after him for days. And so that's a normal dog for you though. They don't like the change in food like that. What does our adoption fee cover? Kind of goes with, do you get the dogs fixed? And those go kind of hand in hand for us, at least.
Yeah, pretty much. And pretty much our adoption fee, and I've been like reprimanded about this over and over, because
if you break down our adoption fee, the adoption fee is pretty much just the medical. So that means that we come out with no profit, nothing on these dogs, because that's not what we're in it for.
Yeah.
We're not in it to make a profit. We're not trying to flip out dogs to try to make money. If you saw our facilities,
for example,
you would know that.
Recently if you followed us, you've seen Sarah and the black one, Sirius Black, and they were adopted by an awesome couple, and they paid, they went with me to the vet. They paid the vet bill, and that was their adoption fee.
And that's why, like, a lot of times we'll say that the adoption fee has been waived on a certain dog, and that might be because our followers have donated money, or somebody random has paid for that vet bill, or it's already been done for us, and so we will waive that fee just so that dog can get a home, instead of us worrying about trying to recoup money off of it when we don't even need to. We don't want to make money off a dog. Now,
one of our first dogs, was it Tesla, I think. Her vet bill was over $300 and something. I think her adoption fee was $185.
So we lost money on her technically.
And honestly, we have a lot of things covered with Tractor Supply. They donate food and things like that to us, but we still spend money on the dogs, and I can't even think of how. We still have expenses.
Well, just little things. We like to get them a collar. We get them, because we don't always get that donated. The toys that they play with in their kennel is stuff that we buy sometimes, or like new dog bowls when they chew up those, or new.
Sometimes I have to while you hear Mona Lisa.
I was going to let her in a second.
Sometimes I have to cook for them. And sometimes I have to buy chicken and rice and maybe...
Okay, so like Bay, right now, Bay is super skinny. And that actually is really common with a few of the ones that we get in that will be very underweight. And so because they're underweight, you don't want to indulge them in eating. And so you have to be a little bit more careful.
You got to be careful when you start feeding them so that...
Because you don't know if they've been eating nothing for a little bit and then all of a sudden are eating, and so that actually makes them more sick.
It'll overwhelm their system.
And then there's like certain things that you have to do to try to help pack on weight. And so I'll have to insert a picture of like Folsom right here.
Yeah.
This is me inserting Folsom. So Folsom, when we first got him compared to how he is now, shows that it took time. Hi, Melissa. It took time for us to add the weight onto him.
Now, like Bay, for 3 days or so, I couldn't get her to eat. So now what I'm actually having to do is, we had leftover puppy food, so I'm kind of mixing her puppy food with her dry food, and I'm taking canned food, and I water down the canned food to about maybe like gravy consistency or maybe a little bit thinner, spaghetti sauce maybe, and I put that in the food and fold it in there and stir it up, and she's eating that now. So she's being consistent with her eating, because at first she wouldn't eat anything, maybe like one little bite here and there, and so I need for her to...
But you don't take that into account when we're doing our adoption fee. We're not like, oh, we had to buy 5 whole chickens for Bay, you have to pay for it.
You gotta pay for a chicken.
That's not how it works. We just, as long as we get the medical costs, then we're happy. That's usually how we base off if that was a successful pool or not, is if
it's like, okay, to get Scooby to go into his kennel, he's starting to become a little bit defiant now, because he gets to play. Like right now they're all outside playing, and now he's not really wanting to go in his crate, so I have to bribe him. I've got an ice box over there, and I keep the treats in the ice box, and so I'm treating him to go in the kennel. And these things are not covered. We don't add up.
And that comes out of the rescue budget, not necessarily the dog.
Yeah, so
let's go back to, do we get the dogs fixed? Yes, that is the medical that we're pretty much discussing. So the medical consists of obviously going in and getting their checkup, getting their shots, and then getting fixed, spayed or neutered.
And we always microchip.
And as a rescue, that is one of the things that is our mission and our goal, and something that we've agreed to when we established our rescue, was that any dog that comes through Gilligans Rescue will be spayed and neutered before being homed, because we just want to cut down on the breeders that want to try to get them for that purpose only.
Yeah. And so and we had we did make a mistake once, and
we've learned. And that's a big thing, is that over the 3 years there's a lot of things that we've implemented because we've learned from a past mistake, and we're human, we're growing, we're new to this rescue thing still,
and we're doing the best we can.
Yeah,
and at least we're doing something.
Exactly. So that answers that one. And then, speaking of medical, can I switch vets? One of my friends actually put this question in there because she just adopted a cat, and she's not allowed to switch the vets from the rescue. And that's one of the questions, is can I switch vets?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've never had that problem. We usually actually make like a little folder when we adopt our dogs out, and it has like all of their medical that we've done, anything that we've been given when we got the dog from any of the animal controls or owner surrenders. We get all their paperwork and put it in a folder for their new owner.
We've had a couple of people. We have 2 vets that we use. We have one vet for our personal dogs, West End Animal Clinic, Dr. Toman. Love that man. He's amazing. And we use Dallin Vet for the rescues. And the reason that we do that is because we don't want people to ever think that we're using rescue money.
We don't want to mix personal with business. They're 2 separate things, and we want to make sure that our followers know that, especially because that's dealing with money. And
so I mean, if someone called Dallin and donated money to that vet for a future vet bill, they know that it's not going to her or Matisse.
All of our art dogs. How can I donate money, food, toys, or other stuff?
Well, you can message us, and if you have something that you want to drop off, I can meet you. Or
the number one is if you're wanting to donate money, we do have our PayPal, and it is our email address, so I will put that in the description box below, as well as like pop it up right here on the screen. But yeah, our PayPal is there for if you want to donate. But if you're one of those people that like to donate physical things, which I totally get because I'm like that too, we do have a lot of things that we use on a regular basis, and we'll make an Amazon list and a shopping list, and I'll put that in the description as well. There's a lot of things I think that people don't realize that we use a lot, but blankets is a really big one. Just the 2 rescues we have right now, we've already had to go through so many because they ripped them up. But the dogs having blankets in their kennels is a really big deal to us. We just really like to do that. Towels, we go through towels like crazy. Ours right now are already looking pretty bad. Laundry detergent, if you only knew how much we have to wash, especially with puppies.
Yeah, we do wash a lot.
And like leashes and stuff like that. If you have old leashes and old collars for bigger dogs, we tend to give a leash and collar with the dog when they get adopted. That's kind of part of our little parting gift.
And I've never had to buy collars.
We've actually been really good. Miss Sarah Guabala has been really good about donating leashes and collars and toys. She's always giving us her old Bark Box toys.
Well, they're not old.
Well, they're not old. Her dogs doesn't like them or don't use them, so she gives them to us. So that's been really helpful. Our dogs like it. Garbage bags, gloves, borax,
detergent, because it helps get the
especially
smell.
right now. Disinfecting wipes is a really big one.
Yeah,
apparently
and garbage bags like the Plex, the heavy duty, because I pick up poop every day, and it's very important.
But thanks, Tractor Supply, for that pooper scooper.
Yeah, we use that first thing in the morning.
Every day.
I wake up with Tractor Supply and go to bed with them.
They're our favorites right now. Thanks so much for watching part 2 of our question and answer video. If you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe to our channel and push the bell so you can get notifications so you will not miss another one of our videos. Also, if you have any ideas for future videos, make sure you comment them below and stay tuned because we have a lot more coming. Thanks for always supporting. Bye.